100 years ago in Russia, there were events like those that took place in Rome 19 centuries ago. The persecution of Christians. A lot of bishops, lay people, and priests were tortured and martyred, only for the fact that they professed the faith of Christ. Before the revolution in 1914, there were about 70,000 representatives of the clergy in Russia. But by the end of 1937, only 100 remained alive and free. Imagine the scale of these persecutions. The priests, the bishops, and the laity were killed in the most brutal ways. Some of them were executed by impalement. Some were torn apart by horses. Some were crucified on the royal gates of the church's altars. Some were simply shot in test sites, in woods, and in prisons. Of course, most of the martyrs were Orthodox, but there were also people of other faiths. In particular, of course, there were amazing Russian Catholic martyrs. There were few in Russia compared to the Orthodox, but of course, this proportion makes them great martyrs. They also were amazing saints, and we have dedicated a separate stand that tells the story of these Russian Catholics.
I would summarize it in one sentence, which was used by Pope Francis and is very evocative, also because he pronounced it in front of the Holy Sepulchre. The ecumenism of suffering and of blood. Our two churches have in common not only veneration for many martyrs of the past, a common veneration that started with Saint Stephen, the first martyr, but also for modern ones, starting from the martyrs of the Revolution onwards. Both churches have had a trail of blood bearing witness to their faith.
Per testimoniare la propria fede.
On one hand, the martyrs gave their lives, and it seemed that the mission had ended. Hundreds and thousands of churches and almost all of the monasteries in Russia were destroyed. But on the other hand, it was their victory. No one could break their spirit. No one, not even the huge totalitarian Soviet state. In fact, today, millions and millions of people have come back to their faith in the post-atheistic spaces in the former Soviet Union, primarily in Russia, Ukraine, Belarus, and Kazakhstan. It is to the tremendous merit of the new martyrs. It was they who kept the faith. It was they who showed how a disciple of Christ should be. It was they who showed with their lives how to fulfill the commandments of Christ.